Hello, I'm Junkyard Rat. Welcome. I'm in the middle of the zombie apocalypse we call San Francisco, California. And it's episode 19. And today we got Keely Wolf from Arizona.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. What part of Arizona are you in?
I'm in like the Phoenix metro area. I'm a little bit farther south, but I'm more in that area, the Phoenix area.
Is it like 140 degrees already or
It was 98 today for a high.
that's pretty
Woohoo!
good, isn't it?
We're getting a slow summer, but it's definitely it's gonna be a summering one.
It's like 50 degrees here.
Lucky dog.
I know, it's cold as hell. It's always cold
Oh,
in San Francisco. When I was
yeah.
a kid and my birthday, I got a jacket in May, like a California Angels jacket, and I wanted to wear it. So my parents took me to San Francisco during the summer so I could wear it.
Yeah, sounds about right. We don't really wear jackets even year round. I think I've maybe worn a jacket maybe 5 times this winter.
Are you
That's about
serious?
it. Yeah.
You like Arizona?
I really do enjoy Arizona. This is where my family's from. We're like fifth or sixth generation Arizonans, so this is where the roots are. I definitely love to travel, but I don't really want to live anywhere else right now.
How long you been doing comedy?
Just started a year ago, so just a little over a year.
Because you got a lot of fans. Like you got a lot more fans than I do in a year's
I don't think
time.
it, I definitely network a lot. Most of my fan page is other comedians and other support systems. So I definitely would say that most of my fan base is other people in the community and everybody branching out.
Yeah, I was looking at your YouTube videos, your stand up.
Oh, thank you.
So do you like you perform every night now?
Typically, I try to. Unfortunately, Arizona doesn't have very many open mics either. I try to stay on as many shows as I can or go and support a show. So I kind of am out every single night now if I wanted to count it as doing stand up every night. But yeah,
Yeah, like you post on Facebook like all the time you're on Facebook. It's
I try to stay relevant as much as possible, keep people in the loop. I even it's so frustrating with the algorithm as well because even though I'm posting all the time and a lot of people that are regulars see my stuff, a lot of the times they'll still come up to me and say, "When's your next show?" And I'm like, "Didn't you see the flyer?" And they're like, "No, you have to actually branch out individually if you want to get certain people out."
yeah, I need somebody like you to run my Facebook page, my social media. I'm kind of lazy. Like I look at
But
I
I'm
was
also a shit poster. I post my flyers, and that's about as serious as I get. Other than that, I'm talking about no bras and doing your own thing and having a good time.
I mean it's Arizona. You can't wear a bra. Half the time you can't even wear clothes.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm about to head to the lake just to go skinny dipping or something. I'm tired of this heat.
Are you by a lake now or?
I'm actually pretty close to a lake. I'm right by the Superstition Mountains, which is like one of the more famous mountain ranges in the South region. And they have Canyon Lake over there. So I'm about 20 minutes away from actual water. So it's not even a bad drive or anything.
Hey, but so you got a brand new cat that you got to get fixed?
So we actually found him outside of a bar when I was at an open mic, and that he was maybe 4 weeks old, maybe five. He was already eating solid food. Already went straight to the litter box, so he hasn't really been a hassle at all.
Don't you feel bad like fixing your pets? I always
No,
thought I always thought
it's
that it
so much
was wrong to
healthier for
do, you
them.
know? Huh?
It's so much healthier for them. Um,
But like
just
you're making sure your pets can't have sex. I mean, isn't that kind of
they
wrong?
can still Oh, believe me, my other cat was fixed and he was still doing the Tom, Dick, and Harry thing. He was having a good old time, just no babies, you know?
I,
Shooting blanks is a lot more fun. You get to practice without the consequence.
I just think that it's kind of weird that as humans we feel we have the right to do that to animals, you know?
It's true. It's true. I definitely see that, but it is better for them. And I work with dogs every day and see the health consequences when they aren't fixed. They actually can be extremely aggressive. They can end up, you know, being detrimental to their health.
Yeah,
A lot of
actually,
testosterone is a lot.
yeah, actually, I have a friend that had a dog. He didn't get the dog fixed. And basically, it's like you can't take your dog to dog parks. If your dog is not fixed, you're not allowed to take your dog anywhere. And it's almost, it's like, it's a weird, like, I didn't agree with it at first, but this dog was like jumping on top of me on a daily
Well,
basis. So I'm like, I wasn't. I don't know if I feel good about fixing pets because we should be fixing ourselves first, you know? I'm like, I
that
think
was
we might be the
my
problem.
partner's birthday present this year, you know? No more.
Are you getting fixed on your birthday or
Oh, hell
when's
yeah.
your birthday? How old are you anyway? Do you
I
mind?
just turned 24 in October, but I'll be turning 25 this year.
Oh, I turned 51 on May 7th.
Nice, nice.
I was at a Sesh birthday party yesterday, like a weed event for
Oh, cool.
grandmother. And
Your grandma had a weed birthday
no,
party?
not my grandmother, but she's a dealer. Her name is Granny. She's
Love
a
that.
weed dealer. It's like they
Oh
have
my
like
God.
these pop-up like farmers market weed things in the Bay Area that
I'm
I
going over there now.
yeah,
What, it's
they're
in the Bay Area?
yeah, so I was there yesterday and senior birthday parties are the best because
Oh, yeah.
people
They
think it
don't give
might
a
be
fuck.
your last one. So they go all out for your birthday, you know.
No. That's just how every birthday's been now. I'm like, you know what? If we wake up in the morning, it really well spent.
Yeah. Yeah, you been to the Bay Area? You been out here?
A little bit. I haven't. I just recently started traveling to California a lot more as of like last year. I started, and I think I've been there maybe 5 or 6 times since like the start of the year.
Oh, you've been here 5 or 6 times in a year?
Yeah, like around like LA and stuff. I've been
Oh,
doing some shows out
yeah,
there.
because you're getting booked a lot in LA. Or...
Not getting booked like a lot or anything. It's not like a crazy amount, but I definitely do stagger it and still try to stay relevant in the like the Southwest area as much as possible right now.
You know Sandra Risser?
You said Sandra Reiser?
Risser?
Rizzer,
Sandra?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I've met her. She's wonderful.
Oh yeah, she used to live out here. She used to live in the Bay Area. She's out there now.
Yeah, I think she just won the World Series of Comedy competition
Right.
out here
What
at
is
House of
that thing?
Comedy.
Any, huh? Why didn't you
Yeah,
win? Well, I had
she
money
was
on
just
you winning,
kidding.
huh?
All of it. It's it you just gotta keep on going. I'm still new in this. I'm also not working at any of the clubs or anything, so I'm not in the limelight. I'm not where, oh, I just worked here last night and now I'm in the competition. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Win your game on that, like, absolutely.
Are you gonna do competitions or have
I
you
have
been in
been in
one?
a couple. Yeah, I've done a couple competitions. I was in a couple of the competitions last year and this year. Just did funniest person with a day job.
You got a day job?
I do have a day job.
What's your day job? Huh?
I work with dog groomers all day, but I'm the secretary, so I take the phone calls and bookings and make sure the salon runs smoothly.
Oh, so like, is it legal to like paint your dogs or
What do you mean?
is it legal for you to like decide you want your dog to be pink and just like
Oh yeah,
give
we
it a
don't do
dye
any of the
job or
dyeing or anything. No, we're not LA.
oh
We're
yeah.
practical.
Because I've seen some pink dogs, and I'm like, is that even legal?
They do have like specific dog dye and everything where you can color your dog and it won't harm them. But personally, I wouldn't have it done. I don't like how it fades on their fur either. But eventually, you're gonna have to get them shaved again, anyways. It's just like any dog that you color.
So do you like comedy? How did you get started?
Took me about 6 months to convince myself, and then my last job decided to give me a night off, and I said, okay, I'm going to sign up for this open mic. And it was an online sign up, so you have to have a specific time slot and get there a specific time. Absolutely bombed, but it was the first time that I felt like I had actual attention for what I said. Like what I said mattered. It might have not strung along like, oh yeah, I know what I'm saying. I know how to string along a joke, but I'm still growing with that as well. Every day I'm trying to write and come up with new stuff. I'm very much a traditionalist. So I can't do these long stories. I don't remember long stories. I only remember the messed up parts most of the time.
So did you take a class or?
Nope, I just jumped right in, started communicating, started talking to people, just networking as much as possible. That's mainly the advice that I can give. I would say maybe a comedy class, but dropping $300 for someone to tell you how to write a joke when you can kind of do your own research, and you don't have to pay to tell your jokes either. You can test these jokes in your friend groups or groups of other comedians. You sitting at a bar, you can test that joke. There's just so many different ways you can test a joke without dropping 300, or even, hey, let me spend $15 and a 2 drink minimum for me to get 5 minutes on stage.
I used to test jokes on Twitter, and then I
Yeah.
and then I realized that if they don't like the jokes, they're just gonna cancel your ass. I used to put everything I like, all these stupid stuff on Twitter, and then like people started reading it and they got offended. I was like, Twitter is not a book, you know. It's not
Yeah.
it's not meant for you to. I'm not doing like a college paper here. It's Twitter, you know.
It's true. It's true. I I've never really delved into a lot of the uh, offensive material. I'm more raunchy, more dirty. I talk about my childhood, talk about my current relationship, talk about motherhood, talk about encounters that I've had, just different things like that. But I have also, I just haven't had the time to delve into it because I just don't have it on a daily basis. It's not happening to me. So it just doesn't have the reaction factor that it should from me. Like if I actually wanted to delve into it, then maybe, but not really.
But you've always done dirty jokes throughout your life.
Absolutely.
It's like
I,
something that
I
comes,
treat
yeah.
every stage like I'm talking with my friends. I just treat it like I'm talking to my friends. And if they don't like it, I'm still gonna be me. I've hidden myself for so long trying to people please everyone that when I finally grabbed a mic and was able to say whatever I wanted to say, I was free. I was like, wow, I can be heard and say what I want to say and not care about the consequences of, oh, someone didn't like me saying the word pussy or sex or different things that have happened to me in my childhood. A lot of times they don't like me speaking politically or anything like that because I don't know anything about politics.
Oh
And
yeah.
I talk about being a governor and they're like, oh my God, did you talk about Carrie Lake? And I'm like, every powerful woman has a short haircut now.
Yeah. Most
I'm
women when
like,
they get old, they all have short haircuts, you know?
it's so much less maintenance. That's the one thing men have right.
Yeah.
Short hair.
I got short haircut.
That's what I'm saying. It's nice. It's freeing. Get to wake up and have a good day.
Do you have like it's nice hair. Like how long have you been cutting your hair that way?
Since November, so it's only been a few months.
You used to have long hair? Or?
Yeah, I actually had it past my shoulders and everything. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, I used to have a little bit longer hair, and now I'm like, I can barely let it grow out now. I'm like, oh, I don't like how that looks.
I've never had long hair, but my doppelganger has like long hair on Facebook.
Yeah.
So one of my friends got upset. He's like, "You never had long hair. You can't do that." I'm like, "Yeah, I can. If I want my doppelganger to have long hair, is that how you say it? Like
Doppelganger.
doppelganger. Like, have you ever had any incidents with like bad reactions on stage from people throwing shit at you?
Um,
Or
Nothing too crazy. Well, there was only one moment that I can remember, and it was kind of a dive bar situation, and it was a free show, and this guy wouldn't even let me say a sentence without him saying, "Where's the fucking punchline? Women aren't funny." And I was like, dude, is this like a meme right here? Like, is this a troll in real life? Is this how these dudes sound? And he got so mad because I said, I hope you're not driving home tonight because then those kids aren't safe. And he got all pissed, and his girlfriend was getting all pissed and saying, I'm his designated driver. And I'm like, thank God, because you need to learn to control your partner in the car and out.
That's actually the
So
sign. That's actually the sign of a future sociopath.
it was so
That's
like
the
just
kind of person. If he's not, it sounds like he doesn't get laid, right? He has a
no, like he was
misogynist
with it.
attitude.
I asked them, I was trying to do some crowd work and be gentle with it and be like, oh, how long have you guys been together? And she's like, 13 years. And I'm like, 13 years of hell. Get the hell out, ma'am. Don't have no kids. You don't
Yeah,
want that.
blink, if you're in trouble, blink, darling. That's what I would say.
She just was trying to save her man and trying to like cover him from it all. And then he ended up getting so mad and drunk that he threw a chicken wing at one of my girlfriends. And I was like, what?
chicken.
A
He threw
chicken
a
wing.
chicken wing at her. And I was like, what is happening? So eventually the police actually had to come and escort him at a free comedy show inside of a dive bar that maybe had 5 other members in there. And I was like, dude, you really like this is a glorified open mic. Sit down. I'm still gonna get paid at the end of the day. Let's count our blessings here. But that was like the only time that I really had a terrible encounter with an audience member.
Do you think the audiences are different in LA and Arizona?
Yeah, I definitely feel that I can delve deeper with LA audiences just because I feel like they're more accepting of the art and different things. They're more open to what you have to say than Arizona. Like if you make a statement about something that people don't like here, they're like, ew. But then LA, they're like, get dirtier. And I'm like, oh shit, we're getting in deep here. Okay.
So you can be dirtier in LA, can't you? I actually had
Yeah.
I had a chair thrown at me on stage one time.
A
I
chair.
had a chair thrown at me, and it hit the mic stand and it knocked it down. That's like the worst incident I had.
No, I call you on that one.
Is it? Oh no, I had another incident. I had
I
some,
got a better one. Oh, go ahead, Chris. You want to say, okay, you thought the chair was bad.
I had somebody broke like
A beer bottle.
a beer bottle, and the glass came right at me and cut me. And it was like the same club too. It was,
In the same place.
and they never even banned me. Like they said, don't come back for a month. You know, don't come. I actually had the host of the show on the show like last month, but yeah, I had a beer thrown at me, but like I gotta say, the chair kind of changes you. You know, the glass. You're like, but having knowing there's a chair coming at you, kind of. And I
Like
was talking.
honestly,
There
I
were these
just feel
three
like
Irish
Chris Rock
guys
didn't
and
have
one
that
woman.
bad.
Yeah, and I was like, so which one of you's banging her? Like, there's three of you. Like, who's banging her? and I guess I figured out who was banging her. The guy who threw the chair at me. He was the one bang. And nothing happened. Security, everybody looked shocked at because nothing happened. That security didn't
And then
do
she'll
shit.
still be up with him later that night. She'll still be all snuggled up to him.
Yeah.
Like, you're so brave, baby. And I'd be like,
You stood up for
your
me.
man has anger management issues
Mhm.
and needs some gentle parenting right now.
Arizona is crazy, like because of the hot weather, people must like get crazy. Or do people carry guns inside comedy shows or?
I believe that they're not allowed here. Like a lot of bars now have banned them just because of the recent things that have occurred as of recently. But we legalized weed, so we're getting there. We're still a little like a little bit in our Western times, but at least they're high cowboys now.
You still got your horse you take to school every morning.
Absolutely, I got my cows in the front yard and everything. I actually do live on a farm, so.
Do you grow your own weed or you grow or?
No, I tried and then it made it past like a little sprout and then it shriveled up and I was like, oh, so we're not doing that.
Oh
I
yeah.
think you have to be able to be at home and be able to nurture it and like just absolutely coddle it. And with the fact that I travel and have a day job, I just don't think I would have the time to nurture a beautiful, loving plant.
So you have dispensaries in Arizona?
Yeah, we do. I actually have one maybe 2 minutes away from me. It's pretty nice.
Not that she's timed it at all.
No.
Look at that. Look at the eyes. The eyes tell it all right
Too
there.
bad. What's your favorite? Like, are you into indica, sativa? You like
I'm a
edible?
hybrid girl.
Huh?
She's a hybrid.
You like hybrid?
Yeah, she
No.
likes a little bit of both.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I want to be productive, but I also want to be calm. Like, I don't want to be stressed out. Like, because when I smoke sativa, I'm like, oh yeah, I can get anything and everything done. And then indica, I'm like, I'm not doing anything. We're in the couch now. But like hybrid keeps me productive, helps me get some tasks done that I'm supposed to get done without overexerting myself. Because I'll do that. I'll be like, you know what? It's okay. That back pain will go away someday. Maybe when I'm in a grave. But man, I'm a rap god.
Do you
That
dab
back
too?
pain will go away when I'm in the ground someday. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, can you rap? Let me hear you do a rap song.
Mm-mm.
No?
I won't be rapping in the car when we only rap in the car. Everything goes in the car.
So you just to let you know, you distort a little when you lean in, just a little.
How much do I need?
No. I meant when you go in really close.
Oh, with the mic.
Really close.
Right, or when you're eating the mic, you distort a little bit.
Don't eat the mic. There.
But you can go as close. Or you can even go within an inch or two. Just don't touch your lips to the screen because that's where you started to distort.
You're a gamer, aren't you?
No.
Oh, you're not a gamer? That looks like a gamer mic or something.
It's just one of those like little standard things. It
Oh.
just was so that I could do actual podcast interviews without starting wah 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 over the phone when people would try to call me. I'm like, I'm
It
not
actually
going
sounds
no more.
really good. It looks like one of those Amazon deals, but it sounds just
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
It's cute. It's nice.
It's
And
so
also,
cute. Yeah.
it's cute. Let me showcase the mic. It is an Amazon purchase, actually.
Is it Amazon?
I see the swish
So-
on the side of it.
I could use I have like condensers and everything because my partner is a musician. So he's like, I could get you a better mic. And I'm like, I'm not doing all that work.
Oh, for a new mic and stuff?
No.
No, I think your mic is pretty neat. Like it glows out there. You got the green stuff.
Yeah, if you turn it to mute, it turns red. The
And-
green shows that it's on. It's pretty nice.
And it sounds better than 50% of the interviews that come through the studio with somebody that doesn't have a mic.
So,
It's true. It's true.
so you're a mother or?
Yep, I am a mom. I have a little 6-year-old baby or 6-year-old child.
There was a dispensary giving out free Mother's Day joints, but they wouldn't give me one. And I told him, but it's San
I'm
Francisco.
lactating.
Yes,
Where's my wee?
yeah, it's San Francisco. If I tell you I'm a mom, you can't say I'm not. If I say I'm a woman, I'm a mom.
No, you have to say, you have to use keywords like this. I identify as.
There you go.
Right? As soon as you say that, they're like, boom, here it is.
They're like, let me
Here you
see
go,
your
mother.
let me see your kids' pictures. I'm like, well, I just showed them some random kids' pictures, you know. I'm like, no, they told me to come back on Father's Day.
Marketplace.
Yeah.
Father's Day.
I'm like, you are. And then I told them, look, actually, I'm bringing the joint to my mom. My mom. I forgot to buy a Mother's Day gift
Mom
this
used to
year.
send you in to get cigarettes. I'm getting this joint for my mom.
I'm getting, yeah. I forgot to buy my mom a gift. Like, how do you forget? I live with my mom. How the fuck do I forget to get my mom a gift? You know, it's Mother's Day. I got her chocolate. I brought her the next day. I'm like, I try to tell her.
50% off.
I know. I told her the Walgreens had sold out of chocolates. That's why she didn't believe me. Like
that shit. You're like,
I like, if she liked weed, I would have a Mother's Day gift for her because I got a lot of weed stuff.
just delve into the devil's lettuce, and I will have a gift for you
Hell
every
yeah.
holiday.
I love my friends who are potheads. They're easier to buy birthday gifts for. It's the people who don't smoke weed who are difficult, you know?
Yeah, I'm like, that's like what we do every year is we save up all our points at the dispensary, and our birthdays are both 6 months apart from each other. So we'll rack up points for about 6 months, and then we'll use whatever money we have off for their birthday present at the dispensary.
So what, you like dabbing too, or?
Oh, I do everything. I'm a little bit everywhere. We got one of those little, whatever, those electric dab pen thingies that look like a snorkel thing. I don't even know.
Do you think weed helps with hot weather? I always thought when it's really hot, like the weed helps you deal with it.
I think weed helps you deal with anything.
That is
Like
true.
a superpower. I'm like, I can do anything except, like, tolerate people without it.
No, it actually helps with that too.
That's what comedy's for. I like.
Oh yeah, half my sets wouldn't be here today without weed.
I have a friend that I follow him on stage, and he always says that he apologizes to the audience because he brought me. And the last two times he said that, the audience like got mad at him because I was funnier than he was. So, like, you can't apologize if I'm killing it, you know?
It happens.
Yeah.
You always need those people that they support you, but also I describe comedy as a sibling rivalry. You want to see each other succeed, but you also don't want the other to do better than you.
Yeah, my brother's never seen me on stage. My father hasn't seen me on. My mother saw me on stage one time, but she didn't go back because I made fun of her. Like she made fun of my mom. It was in an open mic. It was in an open mic. Her friend was there.
You invited her to an open mic?
She just showed up. I didn't invite her.
You're like, oh no, she knows where I'm at. She's found me.
Well, no,
She's found where the underground rats are.
Yeah, I would tell her like I forgot, it was years ago. It was somewhere in San Francisco. She showed up to an open mic I was doing. Yeah, and I made fun of her. You know, she's my mom, and she's never. She held that against me, you know, for years. Still to this day.
My mom's the same way. She's like, I hate your comedy. She's like, I hate how you speak and how your mannerisms are. And I told her, I was like, well, you're gonna hate it really soon because this is just ammunition now. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, your family shouldn't have the right to judge. Comedy is just an art form, you know. People shouldn't judge it.
Like, my brother is also an artist. He draws and does all the the pretty architectural stuff. And then my other brother's also a chef. So I'm like, how can you can love those art forms, but you can't let me just have my voice. I'm like, they're all political and they all love these amendments and they all want to follow these rights, but I'm like, you don't even respect my right of speech. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to make fun of, if you want to say something, why not? Like, I don't see the problem, you know? Some people
Because
really,
we've all become sensitive about everything and we got to watch ourselves and what we say and who we are.
yeah, you can't say anything anymore. Like, it's crazy. Do people like judge you before they meet you? What do they think about you?
I definitely could probably say that more times than not, they probably think I'm autistic, which they're not wrong. But, but that's probably like their first thing. They're like, this bitch really say whatever is on her mind. And I'm like, absolutely. I will not sugarcoat. If I don't like you, my face says it all. I'm like, you're on the hit list. Good luck.
Yeah, some woman like she wrote 5 books on the autistic books on, and she swore to me she thought I was autistic. But I've never like had a doctor tell me that, you know?
You gotta go through all like the psychiatrist and all that other shit and go
Yeah.
through all these hoops, which is a lot. It's very annoying and tedious for you to get diagnosed with just being abnormal. You're like, yeah, I got some quirks. We all do. We all ventilate differently. We all cope with our disabilities in other ways. Sometimes even like your physical ailments affect your mental ailments, or your mental ailments affect your physical. It's just the human body is extraordinary and annoying at the same time.
That's true. What's the longest you've done on stage? Like, have you done 30 minutes or?
My longest so far is 25, and that is when I headlined for my head show, my headlining show. Yeah.
How did you do? Did you remember all your jokes or?
I was able to just keep it rolling. I definitely probably riffed a lot more. Definitely I videotaped and made sure to go over it and look at some of the jokes where I was like, okay, that could have been stronger, or you could have said that differently. You're always going to be analyzing, but other than that, I had the most applause breaks I've ever had the most laughter that I've had throughout an entire set. So I still feel very proud about it, but I definitely know that I can improve, and that's all you can do is continue to get better and keep working.
Do you record all your sets just to watch them or?
Not all of them. I definitely sometimes I'm like, you know what? Let's just be in the moment, especially if I'm at a dive bar and everybody's going to be talking in the background. You're not going to hear the laughter through the video or anything. So sometimes you just got to take in the moment and just have a good time with it. But if I'm at a club show, absolutely, I will be recording.
But do you like watch yourself just to judge it? I hate looking at myself. I hate my
I
voice.
don't judge it. I definitely look at it more like a play by play, more or less like how can you, because I've been able to figure out how to make all of my jokes roll together no matter where I am in the set list, because a lot having ADHD makes it difficult because somebody can say something or do something in the crowd where like woo, and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna flirt with you for the next 2 minutes, my bad. And then you have to try and reel back and come back to what you were talking about previously. So
Yeah, because when you get the audience started, like they
mhm.
think that like it's an open mic for them. Like,
Sometimes I definitely have noticed that. Sometimes, especially at open mics, I definitely have noticed that like a lot of different groups will heckle each other for specific reasons, or for them to come up with something, or they planted them there, which totally cool. Plant yourself away, have a great time.
Yeah, I can't go to open mics. I used to heckle people. Like one of my friends to this day, like she never, she always lets me know about the time that I was just heckling her on stage. And
Mm,
she just, and like, I don't mean to heckle, but it's like those Zoom shows that they get boring after a while. You're like, you're sitting around, you're waiting, you're waiting for your time and stuff. It's like,
hmm.
yeah, I don't do open mics anymore
They're
for,
all trying new stuff, so it could be very confusing, because everyone's trying out some new stuff. So you're like, well, that's not very, it wasn't well thought through. And obviously, I give myself that same grace. So I end up probably sitting with one of my friends and we end up like talking sometimes just so that we can keep focused, which is weird, like how can you stay focused while you're talking? And I'm like, surprisingly, it makes me want to focus on the other thing more.
yeah, that's a thing. Like you hear sounds, you're on stage, you're not trying to get distracted, and you're
Hmm.
you're like listening for the laughter in one ear, but you got to keep things rolling and stuff. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it gets complicated, and once in a while you like it's almost like it's a challenge when you lose it and you got to bring them back. And yeah, once in a while I realize I start sweating. It's like, and I always wear sunglasses on stage for a reason because of the bright lights and all that. But it's like, yeah, you got to keep it going. And it's like,
That's
but
my favorite thing to hear when they'll have open mics at clubs and the lights are so bright and every like first timer goes up there and like they'll be 3 minutes or 2 minutes into their set and like, holy shit, those lights are bright. And, it's very comical, because you have I I remember doing that at my first club show, um, for an open mic where I was like, wow, these lights are bright. And then after you kind of acknowledge it once, you're like, wow, you never acknowledge it again.
so do you have friends that were comedians or? I mean, you seem really professional for a newcomer and stuff. It's like it
I
seems like you've been doing it for a while or something. You're
I
mo-
really don't have
you're
any.
more
I have
professional than
friends
I
now
am and
that are
stuff. Huh?
comedians,
Huh?
but I have friends now that are comedians. But going into it, I didn't even know comedy was something you could do.
Who are your favorite comedians?
Like Robin Williams, Betty White, just like the basic ones,
I I met Robin Williams. I have a picture with him.
Lucky. Oh my goodness.
No,
Was he nice?
yeah, he's one of the nicest people like I ever met in Hollywood. Like he was really cool. Like I remember I was at this club called the Throckmorton. My
Hmm.
friend was performing, and I heard rumors that he used to go down there a lot. So I went
Yeah.
with him because I wanted to meet him, and he used the bathroom in the green room, and he just stunk up the green room. And I remember I kept thinking, damn, like Robert Williams just stunk up the green room, and he like
Wow.
left some lasagna, and I was thinking like I should sell this lasagna on eBay and stuff. I gotta sell Robin Williams left, and I have a picture with him. I actually told him a joke, and he tried to get me on stage, but the guy wouldn't put me on. And
Yeah.
I told him a joke that it's not my joke. It's an old joke. Like, um, why did Hitler kill himself?
Hmm.
Because he got the gas bill. And I expected to hear that joke from Robin one day. I did that joke because I kept hearing that Robin likes to he would take people's jokes. But
Hmm.
yeah. I never met Betty White though. Is she still around?
No, she passed away in
Oh yeah, she like last year, right? Yeah.
yeah, at the beginning of the year.
Did you watch a lot of Golden Girls or
Yeah, actually, I actually grew up with a lot of my grandparents being around, so I had things like MASH and the Golden Girls and things like that growing up. I didn't have any of the normal kid shows.
I used to watch MASH too. I'm like 51. I turned 51 this
MASH
year.
was good. I
MASH was
still
really good. Yeah.
my grandparents still have the reruns whenever I go over there. They still have the reruns running, and I'm like, wow, it's still
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, I really like MASH. It's on Hulu right now, and you can go watch.
Oh yeah.
So, like, yeah, for a year, do you set goals every year? Like, what are you trying to accomplish this year? Are you putting out an album soon, or?
Every time sometimes I feel like I'm super deep into it, and then you look back from another perspective and you're like, I'm just barely getting my foot through the door. So, you know, with whatever time I have with it, I'm excited, but eventually I would love to do some acting or just some voice acting or some different things like that. I definitely do love stand up, but I would love to do some more avenues with it in order to get paid more.
Yeah, is there a lot of money in Arizona for comedy, or are you getting paid, or?
I get paid for most of my bar shows, like club shows, no. Unless you're a feature or a host or the headliner, you're not going to get paid. And it can be a little discouraging, especially because you're like, wow, I just drove here, put in my time, and gave people my energy. And, musicians get to do that, and other, art forms get to do that as well. And they make bank. And it's just not appreciated as much as a lot of the other art forms.
Are you planning to move to LA eventually, or?
Ooh, if I had money for LA, shit.
I
If I won the lottery, probably not that either. I do like visiting you guys and I like having a good time over there, but you can only stand LA for so long
Oh no,
until
we're
it's
in
time
San
to
Francisco. We're not in LA. Oh, don't put us in
go.
LA. You gotta come out. You gotta come out here, like do some
I
comedy.
did. I've been out to San Francisco one time, and I had a meth head try to stab me with one of his needles, and I was like, "Nope, we don't like it out here. I can't do day to day life out here."
I would like to say that's a one-time thing, but yeah, we got people doing fentanyl right outside our building here. There's like over 100 people on fentanyl right now in this area.
So
It's
sad.
crazy because it wasn't like this, but Arizona, I mean, it's too hot for you to be sleeping in tents outside in the summer, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, how's the homeless problem in Arizona?
I would say that we still get people on the corners and we still see them. I would say Central Phoenix is probably the highest population that I have seen personally. But outside of that, like when I go down to Mesa or Gilbert, I don't see too much of that. But I mean, they have AJ as well, which is known for their drug addiction and homeless population. But I don't see it as much as I did in San Francisco, where I would go up and down the streets and there would just be lines of tents and just it was so dreary and so disheartening to see because it's just not like that in other countries. And it's it blows my mind because a lot of people are like, well, it's because they're ran that way. And do you really think that there should be like equality for everyone? And I said, if everyone is willing to work and put in their effort, I believe that they should have the same stuff that other hardworking people are having.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason there's so many people on drugs in San Francisco, they used to bring them down here like other states. They used to bring
And we're
people from
so
mental
close to the
hospitals,
border.
huh?
We're just so close to the border that it just comes in and out of here. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, it's so down and everything. And I'm like, do you even understand it? Maybe it's a conspiracy theory. Maybe I'm crazy to think that the government is letting it in.
Oh yeah, the fentanyl. Well, yeah.
If we don't have that problem, they don't get revenue.
Oh yeah, the government brings in drugs. I mean they have for in the 1980s during the Reagan administration. They actually got convicted of being cocaine dealers. So the government doesn't openly bring in drugs, but yeah, I mean fentanyl.
It's snuck in very
How far are you
easily.
from the border? You're like a couple of hours, or
About three. About three.
did you go drinking at 18 in Mexico? Or
No, the last time I was in Mexico was actually Rocky Point, and I was 4 years old.
Rocky Point is in Mexico, or
Isn't it?
I don't know. I was
You
in.
don't know, or am I crazy?
I,
I'll
We had to
check
cross
it.
the
I'll check
border.
it.
I
You guys
remember
keep talking. I'll
having to
check.
show my
yeah,
What
because
was it called? Rocky what?
Rocky Point,
Thank you.
Rocky Point, Mexico.
Can you drink at 18 in Arizona, or is it 21?
It's 21.
Yeah,
Same with cigarettes.
we used to go like when I lived in LA before I was 21. I was in
Mhm.
junior college. Yeah, we used to go to Tijuana just to drink because you could drink in Mexico, but yeah, it's like I don't know why, I don't know how much fentanyl comes in. The problem is that fentanyl is so small that it's really hard to convict the drug dealers, because they do by scale and stuff. But actually, I think last Monday somebody overdosed near, near the buy, and they gave him Narcan, and he was just walking around like nothing happened. It's kind of incredible, like you could be overdosing 1 second, and Narcan brings you back. It's like, hey, nothing happened.
Okay, so Puerto Penasco, also known as Rocky Point, a Mexican fishing resort city. So it's in
Oh,
Mexico. For everybody who had their money on Mexico, there you go.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't been there for a long, long time.
So you're fifth generation from Arizona, or?
Yep, born and raised.
So your ancestors were there even before there was air conditioning. Like,
Oh yeah.
they were surviving 120.
We had a ranch. We have
Damn.
we have actually it's called Curtis Ranch, and that is my family's ancestral ranch.
Oh, so you still got the ranch in the family? Like 5 generations, you still have the ranch, or?
It's with my grandmother's family. I don't know much about what's going on with that actually. Maybe someday, maybe I'll inherit.
Oh, that's pretty
It's all the way
fun.
down in Bisbee though. It's like a little small town. You gotta love that small town feeling, having no Walmart or Target near you. It's the necessities when you're spoiled. We made it to Gilbert, which is pretty much just Scottsdale for white people or more white people.
Yes, I heard Scottsdale is a fun area. Are you near Vegas? Are you like a couple hours from Las Vegas?
Yeah. I think we're about 8 hours from Las Vegas.
Oh,
Because I'm about 6.5 to 7 hours away from LA. We're like right in the middle.
yeah, you're in the middle of everything and stuff.
Pretty much. That's
So
what I want to do. I want to go up to Las Vegas and Utah and just expand.
I've never been to Utah. Utah's scary. I keep
No,
hearing
it's not.
I keep hearing the weed laws in Utah are crazy. They still put you away. There's some states
They
that
put
still.
you away for that. They banned porn. What's next?
Well, yeah, they ban. I have a friend that was Mormon. One of my friends growing up was Mormon, and he had the biggest porn collection of all my friends. And I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
understand, like, you're a Mormon, like, Why the hell do you got a porn collection? Like that big and stuff. That's why the Mormons are weird people, though. Like, yeah, they do all the stuff they're not supposed to. Why not just admit to it?
I just feel like they probably put a lot of pressure on it, and it's a psychological game. If you're told not to do something, for some reason, a rebellious brain is gonna say, "I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do it a couple more times too."
Yeah, because the city I live in has a no smoking law. Like, you can't even smoke cigarettes in it. I live in Wanna Creek, and like 6 years ago they passed a no smoking law, and I'm like, how can you tell me I can't smoke weed? In my house. I mean, that's not
That's so
legal.
well, where do you have to go then,
Well, I
or
can't
hide
even
it?
I can't even go outside. You're not allowed to smoke anywhere in that city. It's like it's crazy. Not your car, not
Um,
your house. I do it outside anywhere. I have a huge balcony, but I got threatened with $100 fine and stuff. And then my mom freaked out. They're gonna throw us out because you smoke weed. I'm like, you have a condo. They're not throwing anybody out. They said they're gonna fine me $100. Like, I can afford $100. Like. But yeah, it's crazy. The
well,
more it's legal, the
no.
less it's legal. It's weird.
Wow. I never thought there was no smoking cities. That's crazy.
Well, the law in California is if you don't own your own property, you can't legally smoke. And
Hmm.
except in San Francisco, San Francisco passed a law that in your apartment you can't smoke cigarettes, but you can smoke weed. But
Hmm.
the law of the most states' laws is that if you don't own your property, your landlord can legally tell you don't smoke anything in there.
Wow.
It's California. You don't want to be here. You're free. You're
I'm
free.
free.
You're free in Arizona.
I get to drink while driving and do whatever I want.
Are you legally allowed to drink while driving?
No,
No. I was like, that sounds kind of fun. I would
no,
do
no.
that.
It's absolutely against the law to drink and drive.
Oh hell yeah, it is. You don't want to do
I,
that.
I would rather have more drinking laws than smoking laws.
Yeah, that is true.
Um, there's just so like I haven't seen any of my friends overdose on weed. I haven't overdosed on weed. We might have gone to another dimension, but we definitely did not die.
The first time I took edibles, I kind of freaked out. Like the first time I ever did edibles, I freaked out. My friend gave me these two bricks of Rice Krispie treats. He told me just have
You ate
half.
the whole Rice Krispie
I ate
treat?
two of them. I didn't even, and I was like tripping hardcore. I didn't even do an edible for a year and a half. I was like freaking out and stuff. What about?
Wow.
Do you remember the first time you did edibles, or?
Yeah, I actually my most memorable was actually doing dabs for the first time. I think because every time I did edibles, I listened to the instructions, but I didn't realize that I was like, oh yeah, I smoke my dab pen whenever I want, like it'll be fine. I do a dab for the first time and I automatically think I'm an activist and I can save Antarctica. So it's it's just how it is, I just feel like we come up with better ideas than, drunk people.
Antarctica, is that what you're trying to say? What
I
about
was gonna save
mushrooms?
the penguins. Mushrooms haven't mushrooms did make intimacy a lot better, but other than that, I was pretty much like, wow.
Are mushrooms legal in Arizona now, or are they being legalized? No.
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, in California, actually in California, I think they're gonna decriminalize mushrooms, DMT, all that. There's a city nearby, Oakland, that decriminalized all that stuff. I don't see why
Really?
they shouldn't. They might legalize fentanyl here. That way they won't arrest you for ODing on the streets and stuff. Fentanyl
make
is
money
scary
off
and
of it.
stuff.
Like they make money off of overdosing patients.
Yeah, they do.
Like you got to save them. How much is that Narcan gonna cost you later?
I don't know, but I was thinking about selling the Narcan. I was thinking
How do you do that?
that
How are
would
you
be a
gonna
good
find it?
business, because people need it, right? They need it.
Yeah.
You're like overdosing. You're not gonna tell me you're not. I'm like, how much are you willing to pay?
All right, so so here's a public service announcement. Just to jump right in, I'm going to say it. Here on the streets of San Francisco, most of the workers on the street have Narcan on them.
Oh yeah.
If you go up to any of those workers or a police officer or EMT, they will give you at least one dose of Narcan
Oh.
so that you can have it. I have a thing of Narcan 25 feet away from me right now in my backpack.
Have you done it
Wow.
before?
No, I have it ready in case I see somebody like we saw last week that was
I-
dying on the street that they're giving compressions to.
Did you give him mouth to mouth?
No, I was gonna have you come out and do it.
Well, no, that.
No,
But then the guy was like walking around. I was kind of,
he was walking around drinking water. He was like breathing. He was like a human being. You won't believe it. Yeah, he survived. It was crazy.
yeah, because I've seen that, but I haven't really seen somebody overdose before. So I was kind of shocked. Like the whole thing is kind of sad.
Yeah.
What did you do on 420?
What I do on 420? We definitely celebrating. Got a couple goodies in there. They were having so many deals in there. They're like buy one get one free on most everything. You got your free little J with your purchase just because you were there. You scanned something and they gave you a free J. Got a half ounce for $65. So it wasn't anything like,
That's
crazy, but
that's not
it
a
was,
bad
it
deal.
was nuts. They
What's your
have pretty good deals out here in Arizona.
What's your favorite strain? What is it? Is there a strain you always go for? Or
Alaskan Thunderfuck. That's a good one.
what the hell is that?
You've never had Alaskan
No, I
Thunderfuck?
gotta look that up. I never had that.
ATF?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Ooh.
ATF.
I never had that.
Good one.
Do you think most of the weed in Arizona comes from California? Or?
Probably. I don't know where we all. Probably maybe Colorado. All around the four corners. We're around all the good places that have some good weed.
Are you like Native American or?
I do have some in my genealogy, but other than that, not like direct ancestor or anything. I don't have like a cousin or anything that's closely related. But yes, in centuries past, yes.
I got family that sailed with Columbus.
Oh, cool.
I got family that was on the Santa Maria or something.
Very cool.
I'm just making that up. Actually, my
Just
aunt's
like every white woman, I am
my last name's
Pocahontas's granddaughter.
huh?
Like, you know how a lot of white chicks will say that they're part of a tribe or that their Sacagawea's like great descendant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm
We're part of that tribe. We have some ancestry that was with that tribe, but not direct relation or anything like that.
Oh, they married into the family, or
Yeah.
so you're not seeing any casino money.
No casino money. No money at all.
I need some casino money. Where can I
I just
find?
needed money in general.
I want to find a wife that's connected to a Native American casino.
They got them here.
Oh, they
We're
have them.
surrounded by the
Where can I
res.
find one? Is there a dating site to meet
I'm sure
Native
there
American?
is. I mean, they got
It's
they
called
have the
23
one.
and Me. That's how you figure out if they're at least 16% indigenous American before you can date them and get the
Oh
money.
yeah.
Well,
there you
I'm
go.
from
Look at
South
the front.
America. I never did those DNA tests because I'm from South America. My family, like, My niece and nephew were born in Italy, so the only person born in America in my family was one of my cousin's kids, and she was in Boston University. But yeah, I always found that fascinating and stuff, the whole Four Corners things.
Yeah. It's
So,
a if you haven't made it yet, you should definitely check it out sometime. Definitely one of the natural wonders of the world, historically that I like. Definitely get to go see the Grand Canyon too.
oh yeah, the Grand Canyon. I think
We have that.
The Brady Bunch was down there, weren't they? Were they at the Grand Canyon or
I have no
you
idea.
know?
I know
Yeah,
the Brady Bunch, but I have no idea if they were there.
I don't go to any of that stuff. Yosemite, the Grand Canyon. I've never been a
Greg
hiker.
Nature, absolutely not. We don't like her. She's a devil.
Who?
Nature.
Nature, Mother Nature's okay, but I've never been a hiker. I've never been somebody like sleeping in tents. Put me in a hotel somewhere. I'm not about like hiking, living in the woods for a weekend or something. Yeah.
I can maybe last 2 nights in the woods, and then after that, and I'm like, I would really like a nice shower. I would,
Yeah.
I would like to feel good again. I don't like these bug bites. Why are there bugs?
Yeah. It's
But
crazy
yeah,
you got the AC right above your bed. It gets so hot that you got to have that thing running at night during the summer.
you have to have it running 24/7. The hell you mean?
Does it run? How big is your bill?
I don't know. I just live here.
Are you used to all that or to be to have to be under AC all the time or
Yeah, that's how you get all these people out to comedy shows. They're like, you want to go from one AC area to another one? I got you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like when it gets really hot in San Francisco, maybe like once a year, it might hit like 80 degrees or something. And you can't find AC anywhere. You got to go to McDonald's or something.
You don't have AC in like buildings and shit.
Well, no, because San Francisco doesn't get hot at all. I mean, it's just a cold day. It's always cold out here. Like when it's 80 degrees where I live, it's almost like 60 here. When it hits 90, it might be like 70. But yeah, like once or twice a year, it might hit like 80 degrees in San Francisco. And people get confused. They don't know what to do. They're like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to take
Go to
off
the
my coat?
McDonald's,
Huh?
like you suggested. Go to the McDonald's.
Go to the McDonald's. Hell yeah, that's what I do.
You'll be fine. Go in the
McDonald's.
play area. You'll be just fine.
Yeah, McDonald's is great. They even bring you food these days. They bring you
No, they
food
bring
to
it
your
to you.
table. Yeah.
I like those touch screens so I don't have to talk to nobody.
Yeah, those are pretty good. The whole thing. I went to a new chain called what the hell was that? I don't know what that place is called. So what are your comedy plans? Are you doing a show this week or?
I have Mind Dogs podcast later this week, but that should be it for this week. And then next month is where I have a bunch of out of town shows, and then I have the festival at the chateau,
Oh, what festival are you doing?
the comedy chateau festival.
Is that a club or
Yeah,
is there like an improv out there you're trying to break into or
not that I know of.
are you trying to hit
I
what about the club scene? Are you gonna try and hit the club soon or
I've already done pretty much most of the clubs in Arizona now that we have as of right now. Um, but I'm not like not doing anything crazy big or anything. I'm sure if I was at every show, but every single show is at least over an hour drive for me at minimum.
yeah, because you're not near the big city at all. You're
I'm in
like in
East Mesa, so I'm like super down south and everything. Like Phoenix is an hour away from me. There's still convenience, but there's not the entertainment aspect out here.
But the gas is only like $3 it's like $3 gallon or something.
That's Texas, honey.
That's
We're at 4.98 here.
oh really 4.98. We're like, well, yeah, California is like is about that much. I
Is it
don't.
almost like $6 now again?
Yeah, I mean, gas is always gonna be high. No, you got to move to like a bigger town if you want to do comedy. Like to
Someday.
Dilbert's like a cartoon character, but he got canceled. Are you changing the city's name or
Oh, absolutely.
after Dilbert got canceled, you're like, we don't want to be Dilbert anymore. We want to be
No,
like the
I don't think
Simpsons.
it's that. I think he was actually one of the settlers here. That's why we have Gilbert Road or something.
Oh yeah, your family were they like settlers of the town they're in, or
Yes, yes.
so they can't like they were the first ones there? Do they got
Yeah.
you have a street named after your family or?
Yeah, it's Curtis Flats.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Do you take pride in that or?
I definitely do. I love being able to drive down there and see my family's name and be like, wow, we were here and we did something.
Yeah, my great grandfather was mayor in Chile in South America. He has a street named after him, and the
Hmm.
street caught on fire, and I got
Oh
very
wow.
upset. I was like, "You can't let my grandfather's street burn down. That's just wrong." I was like
Yeah.
emailing the fire department, like, "Nah, man, I'm not gonna let you burn down my great grandfather's street and stuff." And I actually
Yeah.
have family that live on that street, you know,
Wow.
that aren't related. It's the other side of my family, but yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm like, why aren't you out there with hoses? Don't save your house, save the street names, you know, because that's
Yeah.
important to me. That's my legacy, you know. That's my great grandfather. What if that's what if the city burnt down that your family like made? Would that like be upsetting to you or
I'd be pretty disappointed.
do you
There's even landmarks that I'm surrounded with that I grew up in childhood that I still remember, and now they're gone. So it is pretty disheartening. I'm like, wow, I remember going there as a kid and getting candy over there, or going to the sweet shop and just having a good time.
my elementary school is gone
Mm,
and it broke my heart, you know?
yeah.
Because how can you get rid of my elementary school, you know? It's like because I went there, shouldn't they save it just because I went there?
Absolutely.
I mean, isn't that important? Like it could be a historic landmark. They didn't care about me enough, you know? Every
Well,
place.
that's with most buildings now. As soon as they don't serve a purpose, they want to dismantle it, and they don't want to actually make it a helpful foundation for other individuals. They just want to get rid of it and build more housing and more condos and more things that people can't afford.
Yeah,
It's
they're
just
building like crazy out here. People can't afford all this new stuff.
I don't even know how you make it out there because California prices are astronomical right now.
Yeah, they're crazy. You just gotta, what you do is you gotta find a relative that's got money. That's the way you do it, you know?
Get a sugar daddy. I got you.
Get
Okay.
a sugar
Got it.
daddy. Yeah, before you move out to LA, you gotta find a sugar daddy and stuff. Do you think
I'm trying. I'm
do you think
trying.
comedy's
Whatever.
tougher for women now than it used to be, or?
Probably, especially starting out. Like, I definitely see once you start to make it and you start to get a foundation for yourself, that it does get a little bit easier. But just starting out, it's an uphill battle. You're swimming through straight tidal waves, and it can definitely feel like, why are these other guys that just get to talk about their dick size and stuff get these bookings, and I'm over here trying to like also speak on the same thing, but since I'm a female, a lot of them don't want to hear it, or they just don't. It's a very gatekept art form for some reason, and it's weird
How
because
big?
there's so
How big is your dick, Keely? How big is your dick?
massive. I have very massive big dick energy.
Is it like 10 inches? Or you up to 12?
Absolutely.
Do you me-
No, mine's more girthy. I don't need the length.
Oh yeah. I never measured my dick. I don't know why. I never bothered to measure it
Because men don't know how to read the measurements.
because I couldn't find a ruler big enough for my dick. So
Oh,
the rulers, I never had a ruler. Like I had the 12-inch ruler, the wooden one, but it went past it, right? So
absolutely.
I needed two of them, but I didn't feel like buying two of them to measure it. So I decided I'm not gonna measure that shit, you know?
It's all about, like, everyone is worried about the length, and I'm like, you don't need the length. You gotta know it's there.
I tell people I have a small dick just to impress them. Like, if you tell them you got a big dick, and they
They're
might,
disappointed. They're like, mine didn't feel that.
yeah, but if you tell
If
them
you
my
tell
dick
them
is
that they were
small,
small, you're like, see, I told you you wouldn't feel it.
I know, I told you I got a small dick. Like, yeah, you know, do you feel there's a double standard that men can be dirtier than women, or?
Um, yeah, depends. I've even been compared with Roseanne Barr. So if that says anything about my comedy and how people uh have welcomed me into the scene, that's more or less how I've been that's the most recent that I've been compared with is Roseanne Barr.
Have you seen her last special, or?
I did see her last special actually, and I've seen her on the Kill Tony show as well, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, her last special was really good. Like, I was watching it the other day. Like, I signed up for that one network.
Netflix, Hulu, what else we got? Why
One,
you gotta put your special on something else?
well, no, her specials on Fox Nation, and Fox Nation had a deal that you can sign up for a week and try it. They don't even need your credit card. So I said, let me just sign up, you know? And yeah, I
You
watched her
gotta take
special.
out that free trial. Watch out, they'll charge you.
Well, no, they can't charge me. They don't have my billing info. That's the great.
Smart.
Yeah, they're like, you don't even need your credit card to try this shit. I said, that's the kind of.
I'd be like, I would set out a whole week. Like if I was to buy a free trial and I had 7 days, I would use all of my vacation time and just spend that binging the best shows that are on there.
Well, yeah, the cable company we have, Xfinity, they have like free weeks. So
Okay.
yeah, when like HBO free week comes in, like I plan ahead. And what pisses me off is sometimes the thing I'm looking forward to watching isn't even allowed on the free, you know? They're like,
Yeah.
fuck you, you know? It's kind of
They
sucks.
limited me.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pay for any fucking that. But her last special was really good and stuff, you know? But yeah, I think Rosanna's really funny and stuff, you know?
I do too. I definitely see her as a she's definitely evolving, and um I loved her show growing up. That was one of those shows that I got to watch as well as a kid, and just grow up with it, and she was very funny. I love the family sitcoms. They're always super funny.
Yeah, in her special, she was talking about how all these things that women do these days to get dick, you know? And it's
Nice.
true, like they got fake
There's a lot.
boobs and fake asses, you know? And
Oh
it's like,
no.
yeah, I never really thought about that. It's like, yeah, why do they gotta do all this stuff, you know?
Because it's asked.
I don't like a
'Cause
fake
of,
ass. I'm not into a fake ass. I think it just looks too weird, you know? If you want to have a fat ass, just eat a lot, you know? That's the way I think about it.
that's how I got
Yeah,
mine.
go to McDonald's every day. You want to get a fat ass, you know?
Exactly. I'm like, you guys are putting way too much money and effort into this when this can just be 10-piece nugget meal every day. You'll be
Yeah.
just fine.
And it looks weird. It looks unbalanced, like you're about to fall over. Like you got no body and then you got a huge ass. It's like,
I just want to know how sleeping on their backside is, like how uncomfortable it would be. Because even when my back is just injured a little bit, it's so uncomfortable. But if I
uh,
had something like curving my back, I feel like it would cause more discomfort.
yeah. I gotta ask somebody. Next person that I have that with a fake ass.
Like already sleeping with like real ones, like my chest, sleeping on real ones is already hard. I can't imagine actually having something inside of them, like
Yeah.
to keep their shape. I'd be like, I can't lay on my stomach, can't lay on my back. How am I supposed to lay?
And I got silicone bongs. I can't imagine putting silicone in my body. Like who the hell would do that? Like I mean the silicone is like it's plastic. You are not gonna do
And
that.
eventually they do have to have them removed at a
Y-
certain age.
Yeah. I don't like
Like,
all
why
that.
are you going to go through all that trouble? I
Yeah.
get it. It's definitely the aesthetic part and trying to make yourself look as presentable as possible. But I just definitely feel like it's too much effort.
I haven't even dyed my hair yet. Like I've never even dyed my hair. That
Gotta get there. Do you have a tattoo yet?
I don't got tattoos. I don't
Wow.
got
You haven't gone through your
I
midlife crisis and
I
you're
got I
51?
got fake tattoos though. I burnt myself dabbing a couple times. I ended up burning myself with what's that dab thing called? A couple of
The
times.
torch?
Yeah, I kind of yeah. There was one time where I was dabbing outside and I was using the torch and I didn't realize you can't see the flames outside during the daytime.
Hmm.
And I accidentally burnt my friend's t-shirt that he was wearing.
Jeez.
Yeah, I forgot to turn off the torch and he like started running and I was like, "Oh shit, this is bad."
No. I've only burnt my fingers. I haven't done anything with a tool yet or anything like that.
Yeah,
I've
because
had a pole fall on me, but that's about it.
oh yeah, because the dabbing they got these I forgot what they're called, but they're things that are always lit. So
Hmm.
and yeah, I burnt myself a couple times with that. I accidentally touched it when it was still hot. So
Yeah, the tool, the metal tip.
yeah, so I always think like that's my tattoo. Those are my tattoos. What about you? You got
You can turn it
tattoos?
into another. I have a few tattoos. I have about five now. I think one, two, three, six. I have six.
Always been scared of all that pain. Like,
It's really not as painful as a lot of people say. Like it can be a little like uncomfortable, but it just feels like you're being pinched more than anything. It doesn't feel like, oh yeah, I'm being stabbed multiple times. People are like, oh yeah, you're getting stabbed and it burns. And
are you ready to get a facial tattoo? Like, my
oh
career is
no,
gonna take off. I'm gonna get a facial tattoo.
all of my tattoos are hidden, and I probably will keep it that way for a very long time, just because I
Why are they hidden, or what kind of things do you got as tattoos?
I have my Libra symbol and an hourglass on my back. I have a rose and the number 13 on my hip, and then I have two ankle tattoos, and that's
13,
it.
is that your favorite number? Or?
Yeah, it's a pretty significant number in our family. It's like a lucky number and some something that goes along.
My favorite numbers. Actually, my last name is 13 letters.
Oh wow.
I have a joke about it that it matches my 13 inches. Like,
Mm.
it doesn't really because I only got 13 inches. But, I only got like 11, so. Or was it 12? I was down. I forgot. I. But yeah, I have my last name is 13 letters long. And it took
Wow.
me I still don't know how to spell it. Like, people ask me how to spell it, but I don't know. The first day of school, it was weird because I knew when they were calling roll, and when it got
Mhm.
quiet, the teacher would just start staring. I would just raise my hand. I'm like, I'm here. I'm here. Skebakasem. And they're like, how do you say that? And I'm like, you don't say it. You just stare at it. You don't even
Yep.
say it. But yeah, I finally learned how to spell it. But yeah, it's weird having a weird last name because it's easy to find me. Like, I can't hide, you know? I've always been jealous of people who can move around and nobody knows where the fuck they got their last name is John Smith. Like, there's a million John Smiths. You can hide out, but
When they give them like that family name, and I'm like, wow, you are so lucky. And I'm like, it's very, because I don't have a common first name either. A lot of people are confused by it,
is that your
and
real first name or is that short for?
yeah, that's what's on my license and my birth
It's not.
certificate.
How I heard that Arizona gives you licenses for years. Like,
Oh yeah, it says that it's valid till I'm 65.
are you
I'm
serious?
like
65?
65.
That's crazy. Like, I need to go to Arizona and get a license.
They do recommend that you do get it replaced at least every 5 years at minimum,
Oh,
but very rarely do people actually fucking do that. They'll wait until the thing is no longer scannable, where their face is just absolutely I'm like, how do you get pulled over and still like get away from the cops? And I'm pretty sure it's just because the cops don't want to deal with it. They're like,
yeah.
have a good night.
So is
Yeah, you
Keely a family name or?
nope, not at all. It's actually I don't even, it's not a complicated story, but when my mom had me, she had a friend who had a daughter who was 10 years old. And when her daughter found out that my mom was pregnant with a girl, she wrote down 500 baby girl names to choose from. Just like, and she still has a sheet of paper handwritten from this little 10-year-old girl. And my brothers picked it out of the 500 names, and that's how I got my name.
That's crazy. So it's not even a made up name. I mean, there's other.
No, it's a real name. The spelling is probably different, but I have met a couple Keeleys. The weirdest one was spelled Kealie, and that just looks like Kaylee to me. I'm like, why is there an A in there? There shouldn't be an A.
Yeah, why would they add an A to that name?
I don't know. They have so many weird spellings, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, I love the name Keely," and I'm like, "Then spell it right so it doesn't look like Kaylee or Kelly or something like that." I still get people calling me Kaylee though. Either way, even with how many E's are in my name, apparently it has the A sound.
So have you ever seen a wolf? Have you been around wolves or do you?
Yeah, we actually have a not a sanctuary. That's what it's called. We have a sanctuary here, and it's called Arizona, and they have different wildlife. They have the wolves, the bison, caribou, different things like that. So yeah, I have seen a couple wolves in my lifetime.
Do you feel connected to the wolves? Like, are you like a big Little Red Riding Hood fan?
um, I definitely respect them, but I don't find like a huge like obsession with them. Like, oh well, yeah, all of my merch needs to have a wolf on it, or I identify with my last name, because that's not the only person I am. I definitely more connect with my first name than my last name.
I know people who had like a half dog, half wolf. Like,
Yep, my uncle had one of those. They're very pretty. They are gigantic, but they are very beautiful.
isn't it crazy to have something in your house that's like half wolf? Could like end up eating you or something.
They're gonna eat me.
Eat me.
Um, I think with the connection that they have with having part dog in them definitely helps with their like docile form rather than, you know, because we already domesticated wolves a lot. So I don't even think it's a purebred wolf that they're mating these dogs with.
So is it usually like the mom is a wolf, or is the dad a wolf?
I think it just depends on what you're going for or what kind of breed you're wanting or
I figure
how
that the
you want
male's
it.
got to be the wolf, right? Like the male's got to be the wolf, and the female's
We
the
did
dog.
have it the other way where the female was the wolf and the dad was the I think it was a husky or
Husky,
another one of those
a
breeds.
chihuahua, a chihuahua.
The Chihuahua, Corgi. They do have a little thing called a wolfhound, and it looks like a corgi wolf. It's so interesting looking. It looks just like a wolf, but in corgi form.
Yeah, people are weird with their dogs. Like, there's people who leave their home, they leave all their money to their dog, you know? I mean, that's crazy.
I'm just not one of those dog people. Maybe if I don't know, this dog would have to like do so many things for me to just be like, this is what you deserve.
Because
I'm
you
like,
work with dogs, don't you?
yes, I do, and I love the dogs. They're super cute and super fun to work with, but I never could imagine like let me dress up this dog like a child and let me give it money and I'm like that dog's gonna live for how long?
Not long enough. I mean,
I'm like, are you getting this dog when you're old and you pass away and the dog gets the money, or how does the dog end up with the money? Especially when they don't live more than like I haven't seen a dog older than 20 years old.
that's true.
It's very maybe a small case like the people that live to be 110 small cases but most of them don't make it to 20. I just don't know how.
There's a dog
Maybe
that
that's
made it to
another
30
reason.
or something, but he was drinking a lot. So if you
Me
give
too.
your dog beer, they live longer and stuff.
Good to know. I'll make sure that he's an alcoholic by my side at all times.
It's crazy that they put dogs to sleep too. Like, we feel like we can control our pets. You know, we don't put humans
So,
to sleep. Grandma's out there, she doesn't know where she's at. We don't put her to sleep, but we'll put our dog to sleep, you know?
I mean, we do make them comfortable. Like I've had to administer a lot of morphine to some patients that I've had in the past.
Oh, dogs, yeah.
No, no, actual humans. Like my mom was a nurse and she had to give morphine to three separate patients that I remember individually. And that was just a interesting experience to see. But obviously, you want them in comfort if they're going to pass away, you know, if it's
Oh, yeah.
inevitable. Make them peaceful, you know, out of pain at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that we control our pets too much, you know? We should control ourselves more, you know? I'm all about humans deciding, like, my pet should have babies. Maybe I should be the one cut my dick off instead. I'm not cutting my dog's dick off, you know?
He still can do it, I promise. Even men that get vasectomies can still use it. I promise. It's even better,
They
actually.
do not cut the penis, Chris.
My dad had a vasectomy
The
right
penis,
after I was
the
born.
penis is gone. And I'm like, no, the penis is better.
My dad had a vasectomy right after I was born, like the next day, you know?
Yeah, my dad did the same thing.
Oh,
He was like,
yeah?
screw these fuckers, get them out of here.
Are you like the youngest? You got
Yeah.
siblings? Huh?
I got two older brothers. That's it.
Yeah, most comedians are like the youngest in their family. It's weird because we're
We're the
attention
most
getters already,
neglected.
huh?
We're the most spoiled and neglected. We need we got so much attention, but now that we're adults, we need to keep that attention going.
Are you on Twitter? I was
I
looking
am
for
on
you
Twitter,
on
yeah.
Twitter, but then I realized I was misspelling your name. Like, I.
Yeah, it should be killer_Keely. That's
Oh
what it
yeah,
should be.
no, I was looking for Keely without the E at the end. I was looking for Keely, and
Gotcha.
it kept trying to change her name to Kelly or something. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm looking for Keely. It automatically, it automatically, and then I realized the reason I couldn't find you. But yeah, you're still on Twitter. A lot of comedians I know bailed on Twitter because of Elon Musk already.
I don't really do too much on there. Like sometimes I'll post some different flyers on there, just keep it up to date on there, you know. And then I'll also post some memes on there, just things that I found funny throughout the day. And I'm like, you know what? Someone else will appreciate this. But other than that, I don't really use it for like political advantage or anything like that.
Political advantage.
Political advantage.
Do you like Elon Musk? We're
Oh
actually
yeah,
like
my
10 minutes away
daddy.
from Twitter headquarters right now. We're right next door to Elon. So
Oh
Elon
yeah,
listens to the show.
love a good Elon boy.
You want to
Jeff
listen?
Bezos.
Oh,
Mm,
I heard Bezos is getting
I,
married. Like, what kind of wedding do billionaires have? Like, if you got invited to a billionaire's wedding, what are you supposed to bring? You know?
it better be mine. It better
Yeah,
be my wedding.
I know, but if you got invited to a billionaire's wedding, do you buy a gift or you just decide they got everything? I'm just gonna show.
No, he has an Amazon wish list.
Oh, that is true. He
Yeah,
probably
he
does.
probably does. We gotta look for his wish list now.
You know, you can use your EBT card on Amazon to buy food now. I got
Wow.
friends. I got friends. I have one friend that sold her EBT money, and somebody cleaned her out and just took all her
Yikes.
money.
Mm.
So, are you on Instagram, TikTok?
Yep. Yep. I'm on pretty much everything. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
What's your favorite site? Is there one you like better than the others, or?
I like Instagram and Facebook the most. Those are probably the two that I jump back and forth from the most, that I'm the most active on. But other than that, I probably would say I like all of them for different aspects.
Have you gotten in trouble on Facebook? Have you had
I have
suspensions?
been I have been suspended for 6 days at one time, and I think it's because I told one of my friends like go kill it tonight or something like that,
Oh
and
yeah.
they flagged me and they said, what are we killing? And I'm like, not a baby, calm down, Facebook.
I put a picture of somebody smoking weed on a tin can on Instagram, and
Yep.
it automatically went on Facebook, and Facebook suspended me for a month. And I'm
Yep.
like, it's just somebody using a tin can to smoke weed. It's not a, yeah, it's, and one time I took a picture of one of my boobs, stuck it on Facebook. They suspended me. And I'm like, it's a male boob, you know? It's a male boob. It's
Oh
got
no,
hair.
now with like the new political, a nipple is a nipple now.
A
That's what they
nipple's a
want.
nipple, you know? We make a big deal about nipples, but we all got nipples, right? You know,
We're all mammal.
we all got nipples. I don't know. I don't understand what the big deal is about. Everybody I know gets in trouble on Facebook, but I've never gotten busted on Instagram. But I do crazier shit on
I don't
Instagram.
think that they don't monitor Instagram the same way that they monitor Facebook, and I think it's because there's a different demographic on that platform. Like Facebook definitely has more of the older crowd where they're like, "Oh hell no, I don't want to see that shit." So they get all sensitive and they say we're the snowflakes, and I'm like, "You got mad because I'm in a suit and I look like a dude." But on Instagram, I feel like they're much more welcoming. They're like, "Oh yeah, bring on the drag queens, bring on anything and everything. We're all welcome to it and having a good time." But it's definitely the demographic on those platforms.
Yeah, you know, if they had drag queens doing readings when I was in school, I probably
I would
would
have had
have.
a much better time.
Yeah,
I
I
would
would
have
have
been a
learned how
better
to
time.
read quicker. You know.
Yeah.
I took me years to learn how to read. In fact,
I feel like they're more encouraging. I
there's
actually was in reading classes, and the teacher that I had treated me like shit.
yeah.
Said that I was retarded and that I didn't
Your
know
teacher called you
anything.
retarded? Are you
And
serious?
yeah, I had moved to another school in fourth grade, and they put me in the lowest level learning classes, said that I had a disability. And when I was in a prior school, I was actually in a private school until third grade, and I was excelling. I was reading. I was having a good time. I was just having a hard time adjusting. I wasn't stupid. I had a hard time adjusting to a new environment that
Yeah,
wasn't welcoming me.
yeah. I showed
I'm
up.
like,
I showed up to America at 7 years old. I didn't even know English. They expected me to learn English,
mhm.
how to read it, all that stuff. And it's like they didn't even bring out the drag queens, to teach me how to read.
Because they're encouraging. That's why I go to those shows. I go to a lot of other entertainment. I don't only go to comedy because I want to enjoy all entertainment aspects of the industry. But there's so much kindness and community at those shows. I feel welcomed. I love the aspect, the theatrical points that they show. I've been brought to tears at a drag show just from the performance alone. It was so moving and just so welcoming to see a community that lets people be who that they want to be.
I had a friend that he was a drag queen, but he was so skinny, he had to buy his clothes in the preteens girls section.
Hell
It,
yeah.
it's kind of embarrassing, like you're not even
No.
you're not even in the adult women's section clothing. Like it's kind of
But
sad.
with the adult clothing, it's just if he's more of a petite male, it's because a lot of older female clothing has things for the chest area or the hip and buttocks area. And if you're a very petite male, you're going to have more of a teenage female build where they don't have all the developmental aspects and they will fit you better because you're not like the shirt that I have on
Hmm.
has very much the accentuation that teenage female clothing does not have.
Yeah, the thing about it, my mom was like 5 feet tall, so I never got it to fit in her clothes. So I never got to wear my mom's clothes. I'm kind of
Never got to do
disappointed,
the closet.
I never
Mom
got to
never.
do any of that stuff. I never put on my mom's lingerie or panties or bra or any of that stuff. I feel
I
left
think
out.
the most I ever did was put on one of my dad's oversized T-shirts, and that was it.
Hey, so how can we find you? What's your Facebook, Twitter? What's your Instagram?
Everything is pretty much found at Killer Keely. You can find me with Keely Wolf. That's usually the description name, but if you want to find the actual tag, it's going to be Killer Keely.
Is that your stage name? Is Killer Kiwi or
Not
No,
Kiwi,
it's
not
just
oh
Kiwi.
Killer
Keely.
Keely
Keely, not
No,
Kiwi.
not Kiwi. You sound like a pro wrestler. Killer Kiwi. Like, oh.
We got Killer Keely Wolf in the stage. I have been brought up that way before, especially at open mics. It's so funny because they'll see my Instagram page and like, oh, she's Killer Keely. And I'm like, no, it's just Keely. It's fine. Don't worry about it. There's not going to be anybody else here tonight that's named Keely. It's going to be just fine.
Yeah, at open mics, I used to sign up as UFO in case I
Oh,
would
yeah.
bail. Like, I'm not there anymore. I'm gone. Like, in case I decided to not stick around and stuff.
Yeah, they can definitely be a little disheartening. I definitely stick to open mics that my groups go to that are very supportive because there are those mics here and I love those mics and I love going and supporting mm, good communities because it's hard for me to go to open mics and sometimes they'll want to trash on me or they'll bring up my past and I'm like, you just don't know the full story. Make jokes about your own life before you go and dive into mine.
Well, what is your past?
What is my past?
Do we miss out on your past? Like, what do you mean your past? Okay, you don't want to talk about that. You're only 24. What kind of past?
The first 3 open mics were the starting point, but those died in a burning fire.
Oh, you're talking about open mic past. You're not talking about your life past. I'm like,
my life. I'm a criminal.
you're a
I
criminal.
killed somebody.
I wouldn't be, I've heard some crazy
Did you
shit.
say I wouldn't be surprised? You're a white woman. I wouldn't be surprised.
I know.
I can hide it.
You can hide it. There's
No,
a whole desert.
I'm in a bright blue car
Yeah.
with the name Keely. I have a butch haircut, bright blue eyes. I'm white. They're gonna find me.
That's one question I was thinking about asking you. Do people think that you're a lesbian, or
Absolutely.
do they get do you gotta
And I
correct
roll
them?
with it because I'm pansexual. So I'm like,
What does
yeah, I am.
pansexual mean? Are you like a big fan?
Oh, anybody and
You want to
everybody.
get down with Peter Pan or something?
Hell yeah, I love me a Pam. Spick and span.
You can rhyme. What is pansexual anyway? What does that mean? You're just whatever you're attracted to, or
Yeah, I
that
really
robot
don't
looks
have a
kind of hot.
preference. It's are you nice to me? Sweet, I'll suck your dick. But
You got to be nice to you. What
yeah,
kind of thing is that? Be nice to you.
no, it just means you don't have a preference. Like you don't. How?
Isn't that
Because I
like
do have a type, but I also don't have a type.
that's just saying you're like horny all the time? Why can't you just
Oh,
say
yeah,
I'm
all the
horny all the time?
All the time.
I'm horny all the time.
Exactly.
All these new words like pansexual. I'm like, I'll get down with anybody. I don't need a. I don't.
If you vibe, if they vibe with me and they're a good, genuine person, and I like them genuinely, that's all that matters. I don't worry about what's in your pants. I don't care where you piss.
So give us a joke. We got like a minute left. Give me one of your jokes.
I'll never end up on a novelty mug, but I'll definitely end up in your mouth later.
Okay. What's a novelty mug? What?
Like
this
the
shit
world's
that
greatest
you have
dad.
your name.
Oh, okay.
Like, my name is not on any of those things.
I don't get that joke though.
In other words, she doesn't have a get her done. She's
Oh,
she's
okay.
just gonna get her done, if you know what I mean.
I'm not gonna end up in a novelty. What the hell?
My name won't end up on a mug, but my
Oh.
name will end up in your mouth later.
Okay.
Here, we'll go into that other one. Here, I have one that woos the crowd most of the time. I recently got waxed. So after getting my pussy lips torn, I thought of a better idea. I want a pussy fade.
Oh yeah.
Couple designs in there, maybe.
They should
Maybe
call
a
it something
picture for
different.
every tear I got.
Yeah, they should call it something different. I don't like the Brazilians,
Brazilian, yeah, no.
I don't like the
want
Brazilian name. It sounds the Brazilians. Why should they get all the credit? You know what I'm
because
saying?
they're nice and caramelized.
Well, come and visit us, Keely.
I'll
Next-
definitely come and bother you guys soon.
Next time you're out here standing in line at the punchline trying to get a set, you should come and see us. We got a lot of
Someday.
shows here. I think Paul has a show once in a while.
Every
yeah.
once in a while.
We'll book you
When
for
get
something.
that itch to reduce.
Yeah, just let us know when you're coming down here. We'll put you in something so
Oh yeah,
we can see you on stage.
absolutely. I would love to.
Did you have a good time?
Absolutely.
Who's your favorite podcast host?
Right now?
What's my is it me?
Absolutely.
What's my name? Do you know my name?
Jeez.
Do you know this?
Chris.
But my podcast is Junkyard Rat because I was born the year of the rat. So
Oh hell yeah.
hell yeah,
I am the tiger.
hell yeah. There's nothing wrong with being a tiger.
It's the eye of tiger.
Well, catch Keely Smith. No, Keely Wolf. I'm sorry, Keely Wolf.
Keely Smith, hell yeah.
That's
She is a famous artist too, but I'll be on that level soon.
Hell, you're on the level now and stuff. You're more famous than I am. I've been doing this for years. You're like blowing
We'll get
up.
there.
Huh?
We'll get there.
Hell
It's all
yeah.
about networking, finding your people.
Later.
See ya. Thank you.